There were various administration plans uncovered by the political opposition and citizens groups. There was Oplan checkmate on how the administration intended to manipulate the surveys to show Mrs. Arroyo overtaking Mr. Poe and progressively widening her lead regardless of the real count. The highlights of Oplan checkmate leaves nothing to the imagination. The other scheme was called Operations Fast Track of the Philippine National Police. Its aim, to generate election results in the NCR and Regions 3 and 4 within 24 hours to establish voting trends and determine the necessary adjustments in election outcomes favorable to GMA in the other regions. The conspiracy likewise involved the police and the military. Here is a true story that happened in Lucena City. In other parts of the country, this was how the police and the military were used. Could this be a prelude to something more sinister? Consider the refusal of 3 major dailies to print KNP paid ads. Could this be an omen to muzzle the opposition? Consider, too, the implication of the COMELEC issuing a cease and desist order for ABC5 to discontinue broadcasting results of its quick count that show FPJ leading the race. In contrast, ABS-CBN and GMA7 were allowed to proceed with their quick counts, which curiously stopped right after the results showed GMA overtaking FPJ, even when they had only tallied less than 10% of the votes cast. It is also alarming that the Justice Department had to issue an unprecedented press statement warning the media to desist from disseminating false news or information on the election results. Gloria Macapagal Arroyo stole the May 2004 elections. She is the single most distinguished destabilizer of the republic she says she wants to make strong. And now, she has raised the destabilization bogey against the opposition and citizens groups, exposing and protesting the unprecedented fraud committed by her administration. In historic 1986, we recall Mrs. Corazon Aquino refusing to accept the results of the election. The people mounted huge protest rallies against President Marcos. In solidarity with the opposition, the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, then headed by the Archbishop of Cebu, Ricardo Cardinal Vidal, condemned the conduct of the polls. He said, according to moral principles. A government that assumes or retains power through fraudulent means has no moral basis. For such an access to power is tantamount to a forcible seizure of power and cannot command the allegiance of the citizenry. If such a government does not itself freely correct the evil it has inflicted on the people, then it is our serious moral obligation as a people to make it do so. We stood by the same belief when we joined the May 2004 elections. Today, in these volatile times, we fully hold on to that same democratic commitment. We vow to stand by it until the theft of the May 2004 election shall have been solved, the thieves brought to justice, and the true will of the people ultimately allowed to prevail. For we must all remind ourselves that democracy is a fragile thing. We cannot claim entitlement to it by hereditary succession. Each generation has to assert itself in defending and protecting democracy in its time. For if by sheer inaction or pure apathy democracy slips by, it may not come back again.